Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna be talking about how to make plist read and write app with Swift. Also, you need to know that you can find link to this project source code in comment below. And as usual, we're gonna start new project. But before that, I will show you how will be output of today project. So you will have something like this. So we have text field here and two buttons, read and write. So when you can change value here and then write it, then it will change plist inside your project over your device with new value. And you will see plist name is option.plist and key is data version, and you can also read that. Yeah, so you may say, okay, what's the point? Yeah, this can be good tools for you to save your data somewhere private inside your app for keep your setting, for example. Okay, let's start our project. So, file, new project. Yeah, single view app. And so we name it iOS Swift plist read and write. Create. Yeah, we have this respiratory, this project already open. So I have two options. I can close that one, or I can rename this. I'm gonna rename this. I couldn't replace it because it was already open, read only. So I just add 101 at the end. So I will make a brand new project. Okay, so first of all, as usual, we gonna make our user interface. So I'll go to main storyboard. Here I need about 4 labels. So first of all, I add my labels. Yes, first one will be our project title. So I use big font. So I write here plist read and write sample, and I change text color to blue, for example. I make it alignment center, and also I make font size something about 30. Yep. So this is good enough. So also I need one more table on this one. I will write file name options.plist. Also, I can get this info from project, but to make it shorter, I'll just statically I just add it here. Also here I say okay, and so key data version. Also, I need one more at bottom of the page. This one will be our message center, so I make it something like red, and so I just write here message, but I'm gonna update it as soon as app open for run. Okay, so now I need one text field, so I add my text field here. Okay, also I need two buttons, one for read and one for write. So I add one of the buttons here. So this one, read. I make it a little bit, font something like 24. And also I give it background kind of light blue. Okay, so I'm gonna make a copy of this, but let me add constraint to for white and height to keep it as it is. So now I copy of this, command C and paste, command V. Yeah, here you go. So and this one I give it some text will be right, and background will be something like pink. Okay, so this one you will see constraint copy as well. Okay, so now I choose these two together. So when you push command and keep it and select the second one, it will select both of them. Then I'll go to editor, embed in, and I make them stack view, because they are just beside each other. It will be horizontal stack view. If you go here, you will see horizontal, and also I give it a space between them, something like 5 or 10. Okay, so let me make this same size as this one, and also I make font of this text field 24. Okay, also we have for this one we have placeholder. Just a second. Yeah, here we go. So here I will write value. this is text. You will see light gray inside text will just give idea to user that what's gonna sit here inside this text field. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, I make this add two constraint to this text field as well. So we add two buttons, and I'm gonna add again wide and high for our message, for our other labels. So I need to explain. I add these constraints to keep these as same size they are, because if we try to align them, then automatically it's try to make them minimum, and we don't want that. So we just add this one. Okay, now I select all of them with command. I'm gonna select all of these, and I say okay, align all of these for me horizontally. So all of these will be horizontal. Okay, so what about the vertical? So I make this one align center vertically. Okay, now I just make the rest of elements depend of this. So you just need to control drag from any element to this one and say vertical spacing. So it's add one constraint to keep same space or constraint between them to keep same space or same area that there is already between them. So all of them will be in same shape, and if we have if we use different devices, we will keep our user interface same as it is. So, or if, for example, if from portrait we go to landscape, again it will be like this. Let me show you. If we choose here, say okay, what about landscape, you will see we have everything in the middle and in good place. Okay, so now we need to connect these two to our view controller. But this time I want, the usual way is that click on this assistant editor and control drag from all of this and name them. But this time I want to use other way to do it, actually, to give you idea to you guys. You don't have to always go to this assistant editor. Even with right click, you can do it. So I'll go to view controller directly, and I'm gonna write my codes inside view controller. But before that, I'm gonna add a new file here, new Swift file. I can go to file, new, and file, and here and choose Swift, or I can click on this plus sign and start add one file, and then here I can choose Swift, yes, and you can name it whatever you like. I'm gonna name it plist read and write. It's not important, it's just a file, or you can say write helper or whatever you like, and create this. So what this one create for you, it will create for you one Swift file, and here you can add your class. This is important. That's actually the part we use it in other programs. So we say okay, class. So I name it plist management. So open and close parentheses. Okay, so let's go. Oh yeah, now I have in I have them, these two function pre-typed to add here to save time for our project, to keep it, for our video, to keep it, shorter. You can pick up this from comment below, link to this GitHub, and pick them, from my GitHub. Okay, source code from my GitHub, and yeah, here we go. So we have two functions, one for read and one for write. We will talk about these two functions later when we run the project, but let's go to view controller. So in this view controller, first of all, I remove this memory function. Then here, okay, so here I want to add my IB outlets. I'm gonna type them this time, so it will be IB outlets. Okay, weak. In one tutorial we will talk about weak and strong, lazy, and other keywords that you can have here. If you just need to be subscriber to get that. Okay, so we say value, for example, filled. Okay, and this from type UI text filled. Yeah, it should offer me, yeah. And I need to give it initial value, but I don't want to give it, so I just add exclamation mark here. So say it could be void or value. Actually, when I put exclamation, means that it's not going to be void, it will have value. Okay, and also I add IB outlet, again weak, variable MSG or message view, and this one will be UI label, again exclamation mark, because I don't want to give it pre-value or initial value. Okay, and also here I will make an instance from my class. Which class? Plist management. So here I just say plist, for example, helper equal plist management, parenthesis open and close. Okay, so now with this instance I can call my function from the other class, Swift class. I have to use this, but you can have those functions inside just here, like one local function for this view controller class, but preferably we need to keep it in other place and use them here to keep this as short as possible, so better for being traceable. Okay, also I need to add two actions, so I said okay, add mark IB, this time action. Okay, and this one will be a function by the name of read act. Okay, and so this function I use underline and sender and any. So any type of could be this the sender, but you might say why you put this underline. This underline help me when we call this function anywhere. We don't have to mention sender in signature, or when we call it, just in this underline help us in that way. And yes, so this is the first function. Also we need to make another function for write. Yes, so I say okay, IB action, so function this time write act, again underline sender any. Okay, now let's go to beautiful part. We want to connect this, but I don't want to open assistant editor. Okay, what should I do? Easy, just go to this yellow button, which is our view controller, and right click here. Then you will have these your view controller and all connecting possible. So what about so for read action, you just need to drag from here and connect it to your read button. For which event you want to do it, I say touchdown, and for write action I will connect it to write, and I say touchdown again. Okay, so this one also we need to have these two outlets, yes, for message view. So control drag from this one and I'll connect it to this, and the other one value field, so control drag and connect it to this text field. Okay, so we did all of our connection without opening assistant editor. Yeah, this is just maybe save your time for doing this much faster if you are good to type. So it's better to do this. Also, I advise you to do it in several times to get idea and actually memorize this IB outlet format. Okay, so now we need to write our code inside these functions. So first of all, in view did load. So when our app is loaded, what do I want to do? I just say, okay, my message view text will be equal. For example, here we can write something. So I write message try to read. Yeah, and in read action I just say, okay, I say let data version equal plist helper dot, then it will offer me two function. Because I use equal, you will see that this one is with crossed by line, means that because output supposed to be void, you cannot use this, or if you use, there will be something wrong. So yes, I use read. I want to use read here, and here name of my playlist, it will be options, and my key will be data version. Okay, let me copy this, Command C. Okay, here I now I need to add my playlist here as well. So I come here and then I'll go to prop, just drag down, and here I choose property list and I create it. I name this one options. Yeah, and so it will make options plist here for me, and here I just add one keyword, that data version, which is data version a string, and we can give it one value here, doesn't matter, we're gonna, when we read it will appear there. Okay, so now we have our playlist. Let's go back to our read action function, and here I say, okay, so value field dot text equal data version. But let me leave it as it is. It's gonna ask me to make sure it is a string, so you need to cast it to a string. But I wait to warning come here. So here say cannot assign value of type any object to type string. So what I should say, okay, so this it is any kind of a string, any kind of object could be. So I just make it actually cast it to string with as exclamation mark string, or you can put this use a function, a string function, but for now we use this which is offered from Xcode. Okay, so a message view dot text equal what? So equal message read, for example, done, and I use parentheses open and close, but inside this backslash open and close. So here I can add my data version variable, so it will show it in message for user. And here in write action now I just say okay, so I will call again with plist helper dot, now it will offer me write as well, because there's we don't care what is output now. So yeah, so here I just say name of my plist options, and key will be data version. And okay, so what data? So data, I'm gonna read data from my field. So value field question mark dot text. So I put this question mark because I give it option to be void. Even if it's void will be okay, otherwise it will give me ask me. But again here they will Xcode will ask me to make this cast to any object, because in our function we use any object as a data parameter for this function. Also I just say message view the text equal, so again I use this one, but this one this time will be right, same as this. So here I just add as any objects. So yeah, same as this one, I'm gonna show it in the message center. Okay, so command S, I save this one, and I believe we're done. So we can run the project and see how how will be our output. So we expect that we have 1.1 and 0.1 inside our all of those warnings you saw was for constraint. So if you like to have a professional app, you can go there and fix them. They are not big deal as long as they are warning, but it's good to look at them and to get idea more about your constraint and how you can make your layout. Okay, so yeah, let's go until we're running this. I'll go to these two functions. So in these two functions, we said read the plist, so we get name of the plist and key for plist, and then we will get path of the our plist, and we will add that name to that path here, and then we will open it, and because we're gonna read it, so and we will get it as a private path. And yeah, let me here say read. Yeah, you will see here, but I'm gonna change it. So what I do, I'm gonna make it, for example, 1.2.1, and I say right. So you will see if I close this and say read, it will be 1.2.1. But yeah, I forgot to make this message, align this message with added, constraint to keep this message here. That's why it's jumped to up. I'm gonna fix it. But I just want you to look at this. So later I'm gonna close this app and reopen it. Then you will see this value saved inside device over this plist. We cannot it's not here inside this device, not inside our project. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this. I'll jump to main storyboard. I need to add a constraint to keep that this message. I'm gonna control drag from this one to this text field and say vertical spacing. So next time I load this message will be same as we expect. Okay, and so also here you will see this one here. If you tap, then you will have all of the constraint. We call this kind of constraint ambiguous, means that yeah, it's not 100%. It's not a error. It's not unsatisfiable layouts, but it's ambiguous. So you need to choose change it. It offer you to do something. So remove this constraint, not good idea, but set constraint to be bigger or equal current value, because this it says it's equal current value, so it should be bigger and equal. Okay, so yeah, you will let me fix all of this to this one say could be bigger or minimum wide, but I choose this one. In other tutorial we will talk about the constraints, so you will get even better idea, but for now just use opportunity to give you folks more info about that. Okay, so let's run this again, and then and again we'll go back here, and this time we will review our right plist. So you saw that we read that, and then if we can read it, if we cannot, you'll print error in console. Otherwise we will read it and give it to output. For right, we do the same, just this time instead of we get the path and file, open it, and then we gonna write it if we can. So we'll say we wrote it, otherwise we'll give error in console to give idea to user. And yeah, so let's see here. Now this time I'm gonna say read. You will see 1.2.1. So even when I close this project and open it, we have the last write over there. So even if I delete this one, I say read, it gonna read. Yeah, that's all for today. So let's if you like the video, please make sure to give it thumbs up, and also don't forget for subscribe to receive these videos every day. And if you have any question, please ask in comment. I will be more than happy to help, and I wish the best for you folks, and bye bye.